Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey guys, how's everybody?
What's up, T?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, T.
Hey, T.
Yo, welcome,
Feliz Navidad.
welcome to a special Wednesday pre-Christmas VA Claims Instead Alive. How's everybody doing today?
Doing awesome. How are you?
Man, I can't complain. Cool. So before we get started today, it is a live Q&A for all of our veterans. Let us know what branch of service you served in. If you're a VACI Claims Elite member, please let us know who your coach is. Branch of service, what years you served. Let's kind of hear from everybody. Welcome. While they're doing that and getting started, how's everybody? Everybody ready, prepared for the holidays?
Yep.
You got about, let's see, 4 more days of shopping.
Yeah, shopping's almost done. Got a couple kiddos in the house. Shopping's almost done. Thank God for Amazon. And then now it's just the wrapping that needs to take place.
Nice.
So yeah, in good shape.
Nice.
I'm telling y'all, the best investment I've made since being a parent is paying the neighbor girl to wrap presents on Christmas Eve. Hands down, the best Christmas money, because now I don't have to stress and stay up all night, and I get to enjoy Christmas with my kids. It's beautiful.
What an amazing
That's a great idea. I always use like just the bags because if I wrap it, it looks like a 4-year-old did it.
Right.
And then it was delivered by UPS and kicked down the stairs.
Yeah.
So whatever I can do to not have to wrap. It looks horrible.
Yeah, I'm a bagger and boxer, right? Wrapping is for juveniles, right? Like, I'm not wrapping anything. Give me a good bag and some tissue paper. I might put a little bow on it. Outside of that, I'm not doing anything like that. There may be people in my family who decide to wrap everything, and it's like super annoying.
Also,
Did y'all have? Go ahead.
it's 2020. It's 2023, right? Well, for a few more days at least. How do we not have something that does this better for us already? Like, there should be like something that you just slap around on it and it's done. It looks good.
Right, yeah. Like a little heat seal or something that just, odd shaped boxes.
Seems
All right,
like a
everyone
cool
watching,
opportunity.
Don't steal my idea. I take that back. Are we live already?
I'm going to share that in the group chat.
Are we live already? Dang it.
Adam, Janice, George, Army Guy, Richard, Ruben, Meta, Angela, thank you for your service. Desmond, thank you for your service. Thomas, thank you for your service.
Welcome.
Man, they're rolling in. This is awesome.
What I have yet to see is a Navy veteran. So I'm about to stop the live until we get more Navy veterans here.
I think one of y'all is enough, isn't it?
Don't do that. That's all right. Caleb counts.
There you go. There we go. Yeah, right here. Marine Corps. Shout out to all my Marines in the room. I see a few jumping in here. Semper Fi to you all. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year coming up. Glad you're all changed. Hey, there we go. Navy Corpsman.
Right. Thank you, Chris. Yeah.
Thank you. There we go. Now we're official, right?
Right. Exactly. Now we can really get started.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome, everyone. Welcome home. Thanks for checking out our Facebook Live Q&A special session today, right here a few days before Christmas, and really just about to turn the calendar year over to 2024. Just wild. I don't know. T, what do you think about all that? It's just crazy how fast this year has flown by, huh?
Man, it seemed like it was just January 1st.
Yeah.
And here we are, right? We got what, 10 days left, 11 days left in the year, man. And all the days are 24 hours long, but it just blew by so fast, man. Family stuff, helping veterans every single day, what I'm saying, helping our teams grow, doing everything in community, man. It just has been really, really fun and a very exciting year. And I'm really looking forward to 2024. Right. Yeah. Y'all know I live my life 60, 90 days in advance, sometimes 180. So I'm already thinking about June of next year. But this is exciting stuff. Cool.
Cool.
And just like that, we asked the Navy to come, and here they are, right? You know what I'm saying?
They came in force. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, a lot of Navy came through real quick as soon as you said that. So.
Right. So y'all know how we roll, right? I just put out the call and we just show up, just letting everybody know how we get down in the Navy.
Right.
Is there like there's like a bat signal or something? You just flip on a light. And...
I thought it was funny how Caleb said all the Marines jumped in here. I don't know what you said that. So being
just in the comments.
Just being an old paratrooper, I didn't know that Marines did that. So awesome.
Oh, okay. Oh, somebody's got jokes today. I love it. Oh, I love it. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you all for being here. I got to tell you, I'm really excited for this one. I get all my favorite people in one room. I mean, one virtual room, right? And get to spend the hour with you all answering questions from other veterans. Man, it just makes my heart so happy. So thanks for everybody being here. And thank you, veterans, for joining us for this hour of your day. We really appreciate the fact that you're here and spending this time with us. We're excited to get to answer some of your questions and really dig into this stuff.
Awesome.
You're not lying. The Navy really did come out. Now that T-Play got there. Another one?
No, I told y'all. Right? Like, answer, you know what I'm saying? You put the call out there and it happens.
Other U.S. Navy, 2002 to 2011.
And the Navy is severely outnumbered here in this room because we've got 4 Army vets too. So sorry, guys, but we are outnumbering you.
JT doesn't count because he served in every branch. Right? Just totally does not count.
That's fair.
He just chose Army last, so that's what he represents. I actually have a picture in Oculus proof that he was at the Continental Congress when the Navy was.
I think technically when he signed up, they were called Minutemen.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right.
Wow, there's a lot. Yeah, some of the questions already started.
Yeah, we got a few questions in chat, but before we get to that, let's go ahead and maybe knock out our disclaimer, and then we can get to our Q&A session.
Yeah.
Another thing we'd love to hear is maybe you have holiday plans coming up, so again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. What are you doing for this Christmas? Maybe drop in chat your most memorable Christmas. We may be able to go around the room and share a couple ideas around that as well, but a lot to look forward to as we close out the end of the year here. So let's go ahead and knock out this disclaimer. It popped up at the beginning, but I'll just go ahead and read it off. Our quick disclaimer here at VA Claims Insider: we are not accredited agents, VSOs, attorneys, or any other entity recognized by the Department of Veterans Affairs, the VA, and we are not affiliated with the VA in any way. VA Claims Insider is an education-based coaching and consulting company for disabled veterans exploring eligibility for increased VA disability benefits and who wish to learn more about that process. VA Claims Insider also connects veterans with vetted independent medical professionals within our preferred provider network for medical examinations and independent medical opinions for a wide range of disability conditions.
Thank you, Caleb.
Cool.
And I want to hear about all the fun stuff, right? Favorite movies, favorite holiday cookie. Are you a fan of eggnog? Yes or no? Right? What's your favorite Christmas dish? What happened when you were deployed on Christmas? Like all the cool things that service members had. So one of y'all share one of y'all stories before we get into some of the questions.
Ooh, that's a good rapid fire series of questions. I am a fan of eggnog. One thing I can remember, at least being stationed stateside, is over the Christmas holiday, being served surf and turf, right? Like steak and lobster in the chow hall. You're hanging out with your buddies. That was always a good time. So, but yeah, I am a big fan of eggnog for sure.
Yeah, as a resident chef and proudly served in the United States Navy as a mess management specialist / culinary specialist. Every day was serving turkey. So it was never like a special meal, right? So I could eat what I wanted. It was, choose your rate, choose your fate is what we said.
That's right.
So it was the first thing. That's good. That's good stuff. I'm glad you got to enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll start
Yes,
this
yes.
off. I really think that there's always been an argument about certain movies and stuff like that for Christmas. Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
100% agree with you.
100%. Yeah. It is 100%.
Yippee-ki-yay.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. And I miss Bruce Willis. Yeah.
Yes.
Another controversial series of movies are the Harry Potter series. For me, they are absolutely Christmas movies. And I will spend the entire holiday break binging on Harry Potter, the whole series. My kids think I'm crazy. It's my favorite. It's nostalgic. It makes me happy. So that's mine. Can't do eggnog. I'm allergic.
Well,
I love it.
Yeah, I'll enjoy for both of us.
yeah.
Do it.
You're right, John. That is a controversial topic, and you took a stance. Are you willing to say that you would die hard on it?
Yes. I saw that coming too. I appreciate it.
Michael in chat says no to Harry Potter, so we've got a couple disagreements there in chat for you, Liz. But I'm sure all in good fun. And then Chris jumps in with Charlie Brown Christmas. I couldn't agree more. That's been on repeat around our house for our kiddos this past week. So yep, Charlie Brown Christmas for sure. Good one to have on during this holiday season for sure.
Nice.
So we've got a lot of Christmas stuff to talk about, obviously, but we do want to. We are here to answer your questions as well. So I'm going to look over here in the chat. Scott Kaufhold is asking if secondary conditions are diagnosed prior to primary conditions, is it worth pursuing a claim for the secondaries? Short answer: absolutely. So you can be living with a primary condition for years and years and years before it gets service connected. Same with secondary conditions. Those don't necessarily pop up right after or after you get service connected for the primary. They can live in tandem for years and years. So short answer is absolutely. And if you're not sure about those connections, we're going to throw it up here on the screen, how to get with one of our veteran ambassadors and talk through that a little bit and see if VA Claims Insider is the right partner for you. So just jump on over to vaclaims.help, schedule that free discovery call, talk to one of our amazing ambassadors, and they'll be able to answer those questions for you.
Just to piggyback on that, it comes down to what your evidence says, what your records say, what supports the etiology of a condition is second to this or that, or if this condition makes it worse. That's really something that a coach can help you understand. They help walk you through that process, break it down for you, and kind of give you an idea of where you're at. They educate you on the process. If you want a coach, if you want to get straight to a coach, you can sign right up for that too, right? This program is your fit. It's what you want to do. You can click on our link, go in, and get set up with a coach.
We've got John Sherrill asking, will canceling a VA appointment hurt you if you're already being treated by a private doctor? There are a couple of different kinds of VA appointments. Definitely do not cancel a C&P exam or a compensation and pension exam. Go to all of those. Even if you've gone before, do not cancel those appointments. Your treatment, you can get wherever. You can get it from a private provider or you can get it from your VA providers. Treatment is treatment. So wherever you're most comfortable and confident getting that treatment, go for it.
Amen. Ooh-ah.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of advertisements. Sign up for us. We'll help you get the increase without a C&P exam. That's horrible advice. If you are asked to go to a CNP exam, you should go to a CNP exam. Anyone who tells you not to, you might want to question their knowledge of the process. That's setting you up for failure.
Definitely.
All right.
Jake has a question that says, does the VA have a deadline to complete a disability claim? Is there a deadline?
Nope.
Yeah. Your it's called your death date. Like,
yeah, Jake, there is no deadline to complete a disability claim. You can file a disability claim whenever, for as long as you possibly can. There's some probably more strict guidelines around a specific concern, whether it was previously filed or previously denied. And you can come into VA Claims Insight and get with a coach, and they'll directly guide you through that portion of it. But you can file a claim in, like Donnie said, until the day you're no longer here.
There are a number of factors that go into the time it takes to adjudicate your claim. So having all the evidence you need is one of those for your fully developed claim. If the VA has less evidence that they need to go get on their own, then it takes them less time. So preparing a fully developed claim is the way to go.
I like how Donnie did that. Donnie's been working on that, where he can throw his voice and make it do all kinds of stuff.
Got the synthesizer on.
Going on. I thought that was really cool how you did that. You're gonna have to teach me that lesson.
So kind of in that same vein that we're talking about, David Maltrop is asking, what's the process for getting the VA to reevaluate the percentages for a particular disability? So David, that really depends on the current situation. So first of all, if your claim that you're looking for reevaluation was denied, then you're going to have to go down a supplemental claim route, where you're going to have to provide new and relevant evidence to show that percentage should be reevaluated. If you were service connected previously and maybe feel that you were underrated or that your condition has gotten worse, then you could look at just filing for a straight increase, or potentially a higher level review. If you meet that criteria, if you were underrated and you're still within that 1 year time frame, you could file a higher level review, and as long as you're able to show that the VA made an error. Okay. But there's a lot of different things to look at to really get the hard and fast answer to your question.
Awesome.
Okay.
I noticed Adam Sanford here. I am an elite member. Why is my PTSD claim stuck in the decision phase? There's stuff that when you do this and you go through all the phases of this, there's some of this stuff is out of our hands. It's going to be the VA moving it through their system. And unfortunately, as it moves through the system, it doesn't exactly tell you exactly what's going on. They just have, the set little positions, and it could be stuck there for a number of reasons. It could be they're double checking the evidence. They're making sure they're going over, each little aspect of it to make sure that they get it right. So there's a number of reasons why it could be stuck in that phase. You should be getting, if it's at the end of the decision phase, you should be getting ready to have letters start hitting you and saying, hey, look, this is what we came up with. This is how it works. Just hang in there. There's going to be parts of this whole thing with the VA that's out of our hands, and there's nothing we can do except for wait and be patient, and maybe even think about moving on to your next claim, so you can already get the groundwork going on that. So,
Good call, JT.
there's actually an interesting one here. Tracy Wagner, right below that, does a veteran on Housebound have to go to a CNP? I don't think I've ever heard of this one before. So I would
Yeah,
think
I got this one.
accommodations, right, Tommy?
Yeah, so um, there's two different ways you can get housebound. One way is if you are rated 100% for a single disability. Um, so, for instance, your mental health is rated 100%, right? So one disability has 100% rating by itself, and then your remaining disability or disabilities has to total 60% by VA math. And then you're automatically assigned SMCS, SMCS, or housebound. That would typically involve a CNP exam because you're getting a rating for a condition. And usually when you get rated 100%, it's the result of a CNP exam. Right? Someone wants to verify that before they give you all that money. Then the second way to do it is to have your doctor fill out a form stating that you're housebound, and then you submit that for housebound, and that may or may not result in a CNP exam or multiple CNP exams, depending on what the reasoning behind your housebound status is. So if it's related to a specific condition, then they will probably reevaluate that condition. But in that scenario, it's hard to say whether you would or would not have a CNP exam. It depends.
Awesome.
Good call.
Yeah, that's a good one there. Yikes.
But just to tack on there, being housebound does not eliminate the requirement to go to a CNP exam. You're not getting out of it by saying, but I'm housebound. If they send you to one, go to one.
Yeah, I think that's the normal rule, right, Donnie? I mean, if they say we want you here to do an exam, you go. If you don't go, then there's a chance of really messing everything up by them just going to probably deny it. And then,
yeah, essentially it's grounds for a denial or reduction if you don't go to a CNP exam. You're setting yourself up for failure, definitely.
Yeah. Go to your CNP exam. Totally not a fan of not showing up.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most of the denials that I see on decision letters are because the veteran did not go to their CNP exam. I can say that confidently.
Right. And, it doesn't make sense. Look, if you're actually doing this and you're in the fight to go for what you rightly deserve, go through all the steps. You deserve this. You don't deserve to have somebody make a what I call an invalid decision on your stuff because you decided you're not going to this or you're not going to follow that step or you're not going to do this. You got to play the game. You got to go through every step that they tell you to go through. But that's all part of the fight. You're a warrior. You should be fighting anyway. So keep that warrior mentality for that and keep going and keep going and keep going. Never, ever quit.
Hey, we got another Alan in the room. Cassie. We are a cheerful bunch of rock stars.
Yeah. The world is also better with many more Allens, right? Like all those people are great.
Oh, yeah. And we got a brand new Alan that's a brand new American hero that just graduated.
We do. Thank you, JT. Hey, I'm happy to shout it out from the mountaintops. So
right.
Our youngest daughter just graduated basic combat training Monday. So and to put the cherry on top, she was selected as Soldier of the Cycle for that company. So super proud of her. And so thanks for sharing that out, JT.
Yeah.
I also failed to mention that she's a sharpshooter like her dad. Like don't forget that part.
She did qualify as expert on the rifle. Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah. Hey, I do want to jump over Chris Miller. He's one of our current clients. I do want to answer his question. When Telemedica does an IMO, how long before one should expect to see it? Is there a timeline that's unacceptable or a point where we should call this out to our coach for escalation? So for those of you that are not current clients, let me decipher a little bit of this for you. First of all, Telemedica is a company that we work with that has a whole bunch of independent medical providers that can provide evaluations or Nexus letters for those veterans that may need that. An IMO is simply a shorthand for an independent medical opinion. Okay, so to answer the question specifically, Chris, 14 days. Okay, so they have 14 days, but we typically see it much, much faster than that. Okay.
USMC Farrell says he's working with a coach, but he's asking, should I put in for another claim, Meniere's disease, secondary to tinnitus, while still trying to get the diagnosis? I've been seen at the doctors for dizziness, pain in the ear, mental decision for another condition. So we're going to break this down. There are a lot of questions built into that. First and foremost, before you file any claim, you should have everything ready and packaged as a fully developed claim. Get the diagnosis first. Make sure you have an intent to file open, but get your diagnosis before you start submitting anything. And Meniere's disease is pretty unique in that it's not secondary to tinnitus. It's not caused by tinnitus. It's a standalone condition. It's a rule out condition. So they've got to rule out any other possible cause of your symptoms before they'll diagnose you with Meniere's. And tinnitus is a common symptom. So is hearing loss. So is that dizziness, the vertigo, the gait ataxia, all of those things. So keep going to your appointments to rule out anything else and get that diagnosis for Meniere's before you pursue it. It's kind of a long game claim, right? You've got to go through all of these steps to get it. But if you're experiencing these symptoms at a severe level, it does have a high potential for ratings. It can be rated as high as 100% alone. So it's definitely worth pursuing if you're experiencing those symptoms. Keep waiting for your supplemental decision on your other condition, right? We are seeing much longer wait times right now. Has to do with the backlog at the VA. There are a lot of claims awaiting processing right now, a lot. So don't get disenchanted, don't get disengaged. Continue, like Doc said, continue the fight. If you're an elite member, come to our live classes. There's so much more than educational classes. They are a community. Their family. We have veterans who show up who have already gotten the highest rating they deserve, and they continue to come for the camaraderie. They continue to come, to meet with their fellow brothers and sisters going through this process because they want to share and support through the process. So come join us. If you're not an elite member, check it out. See if you can get started. See if you're a good fit, and start coming to the classes.
Yeah. And shout out to Bev. I saw Bev in here. She is one of those amazing veterans that Liz was just talking about. Hey, Bev, we love you.
Hey.
Merry Christmas.
Good stuff.
Also, for Farrell, hey, you got a great coach from a great team. You guys pick that in, guys.
I said it must be a coach on Dr. John Tribble's team.
So you just hang in there and keep working with that coach. They're going to get you there. But the cool part is we're going to do it the right way. So hang in there.
I see Angela. Go ahead.
I was just saying, piggybacking that real quick. Whenever you file a claim, you want to take as much of the responsibility for completing that claim out of the VA's hands, right? There's already a backlog. So filing incomplete claims is going to create a larger backlog because the VA has to go and do the work for you. Also, you're relying on them to provide the evidence that you need, right? This is your claim. You want to complete as much of that on your terms instead of their terms, because they're going to send you to a VA examiner who works for them and gets, whether they do their exam thoroughly, do a full records view thoroughly, they get paid the same, right? So also they're overburdened, overworked, trying to do a lot of work really fast, and mistakes happen. And if it's not someone you're selecting, maybe you're just another person, right? Why do I care about getting this right for you? It's kind of and that's not just the VA, that's anybody you go to. But you can reduce that by making sure you have all your evidence. Like if you're with VA Claims Insiders, you use the preferred provider network and complete your Kaluza triangle. Because if you don't have a diagnosis, you might not even get a C&P exam. And then if you do, which you might not, then you're relying on the VA examiner to provide said diagnosis, or your claim's dead in the water. So getting all that taken care of, your diagnosis, your Nexus, prior to submitting your claim is the way to go.
Yeah. The VA is working really hard, guys. I want to let y'all know that they are hiring 2,000 plus people to support and help with the backlog. So we're talking about some people who are getting an opportunity to start a new career or changing careers, and they have to learn and educate. Their training process is a year, right? I just want to kind of put that all in perspective. So they're doing their due diligence to bring on great folks in the VA to help support all of us wonderful veterans and get exactly what we need and deserve. But they're working through it, right? And honestly, that has been, the cause of the backlog. The backlog used to be 91, 92 days. The average right now is somewhere around 140 or 150. That's a long time, right? That's a drastic change that we haven't seen in the past 10 years of just VA claims. So get your claim in as soon as possible. Do everything you need to do. Like Donnie said, get a diagnosis. Make sure you have that medical nexus, and make sure you have a clear in-service event that ties those things together. So give yourself the best chance as you're going through this fight. Don't leave it up to the VA to make that decision without you making sure you have everything that you need and it's well put together. So the best advice I can give to any veteran is to make sure you have all your ducks in a row is kind of a way to say that before you submit it, and make it easier on them to make the right decision for you and your family.
Right.
Yeah.
Stu has a good one. I went through an increase for chronic adjustment order back in July, and the lady went off on me because I had a hole in my pants instead of focusing on my exam. And now I'm going through a higher level review since September. What should I expect? A couple things, Stu. One, did you request to have a conversation with the examiner, or did you just request to have your records review? If you requested a conversation, I tell every veteran you have to pick up that phone every time it rings, right? Me personally, during my high-level review, the first call I got from 1-800-827-1000. The second call I got from a North Carolina number, and I just happened to pick it up one day when I was at lunch. And it was a RVSR, a senior rater, and just wanted to clarify some stuff with me. And, that moved me along in the HLR process. This was early on when HLRs became a thing. So my process took about a week. It is much longer now, as those that lane has filled up drastically since those years. But Stu, stay in the fight. Pick up your phone every time it rings and answer it every time like you're ready to have a conversation about what you're going through. The thing about adjustment disorder, it is deemed as a temporary disability, normally around 6 months to a year. And correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. John, with all your vast experience and knowledge. I got the thumbs up from the doc.
Yep.
But I started out with what they deemed was adjustment disorder, but it was misdiagnosed, and what I actually was diagnosed with was PTSD. So Stu, stay in the fight, listen and answer every call. And if you are a VA Claims Insider Elite member, definitely reach out to your coach or come to one of the live classes like VCM Liz had stated earlier.
No, you're exactly right. Adjustment disorder is one of those ones where they're looking at the DSM-5. That's the book that actually talks about, everything to deal with mental health. And they haven't determined which route they're going to go. But like say in T's case, they made a misdiagnosis because they didn't really look at all the conditions or all the symptoms or anything like that. They decided to stop there and then decide later. But that's usually what that one means. A lot of people actually get diagnosed that right off the bat. So.
And so a higher level review also is a de novo review. So what you need to do is prove that there was an error in fact or law, right? So did they properly apply the law when they adjudicated your claim, or was there an error in fact? They were wrong about something that is a fact that is in the evidence that was submitted at the time of the claim. So that's the big thing too. The evidence had to be there when you submitted it, right? Because you can't add additional evidence. So going into an HLR and just saying, hey, I disagree with my examiner, it's not an error in fact or law. The examiner's opinion is their opinion, and it typically has more probative value than your opinion on them being wrong. So there's neither an error in fact or law. This is where it's really important to have all your evidence prepared when you submit that original claim, right? Because then you can use the law to argue that your evidence is equally efficient or has as much probative value, and then there's grounds to win that legal argument. And again, this is something having a good coach can help you do. They can educate you on the process, on the types of laws that might apply to your situation. So getting with the coach and going through that and being prepared and educated for your claim is the way to go. Again, the coaching, education, and consulting you get from the elite program is second to none.
Very true. Oh, I like this. Dr. Mike, great panel. So we're off to the right step.
Oh.
We're off the right foot.
We've got a few questions in the chat about Nexuses. Oh, wait, Matt, good luck at your appointment.
Yes.
Thanks for being here.
You got this, Matt.
For those of you that don't know, Dr. Mike is a podiatrist. Therefore, John was making a dad joke up on the right foot.
And Dr. Mike is also on my team, so we can cover you all the way from head to toe. So we're good.
Oh, that was a good one.
That was a really good
one. Your timing was on right there. Like that was perfect. Yeah. You might want to write that one down. Oh man. Well, thank you, Stu. We appreciate it. We're here to serve you guys.
Yeah, it's also great when we get together like this, because there's so much stress and so much anxiety that we place on ourselves as we go through this process. Sometimes we have to become that old veteran or that new veteran or however you want to say it, so we can actually, jab a little bit, laugh a little bit. It'll take the edge off of this, because it does get, sometimes at points, it does get to a point where it consumes you. And you want to make sure you're still enjoying this, because I'm telling you, when you get to the end of it and you get to where you want to go, it means the world to you. And then you can look back at it and go like, okay, yes, this is worth it, because we did earn this, we did deserve this. I love it. So we do
And
have
Frank J. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, John.
no, we do have to have
Frank.
where we take things light. So I'm sorry, Donnie. I keep walking on you. Hey, this is just like our meetings. I do this.
Yeah, only I can't raise my hand in here. So, And Frank J has a good question though. Question on mental health. My VA mental health counselor stated that I should be rated higher as I was rated 50% for GAD, generalized anxiety disorder. They are recommending me at 100% as I am really not well. Are VA counselors to be trusted? So there's multiple parts to this answer. First, in what capacity? I mean, would I trust them to babysit? Would I trust them with my money, or should I trust them with my mental health counseling? Yeah, I mean, by and large, the people that work for the VA, are good people. A lot of them are also veterans, and they want to help us. There's multiple sides to the VA. One is the health side, right? Your care, your treatment, and then there's the benefit side, the people that process your claims. And as frustrating as we get with the disability side, they're also good people. Do they make mistakes? Sure. But they're bound by laws in the system that make them adjudicate in such a manner. And oftentimes it's really the veteran's fault for not preparing their claim properly. And that's the reason for denial. But should you trust your mental health counselor with your claims process? You have to take a couple things into consideration here. Do they have the appropriate degree, right? So they might not hold as much probative value in their medical opinion as so a lot of those are social workers that do counseling. And a social work degree is not going to hold as much probative value, meaning their opinion is not going to be held with as much credibility during the claims process as, say, a psychiatrist like Dr. John, or a psychologist like Dr. John, or a psychiatrist. They're going to have more probative value. So are they the right person to prepare a medical opinion for your claims process? So it doesn't hurt to have their opinion, but you would want something, in my opinion, more substantive, from a psychologist. And that's again, getting with a coach, they determine, if that's the right route for you, help you educate you on that process, and then go get that. So the other part is you need someone who is trained and knows how to prepare a medical opinion in such a way that it gives the VA information that's consistent with 38 CFR and supports your increase. So I see a lot of times, veterans get these letters from their counselor, even their psychiatrist or something, and it just says, that they should have an increase because their PTSD is worse. Well, that's not the information that the VA needs to go ahead and approve that increase. They need to know your symptoms and how severe they are according to their rating criteria, specifically outlined in the 38 CFR. And if the medical opinion does not present it that way and doesn't address that, then it's not likely that you will result in that increase that you deserve. Again, it's something that you get out of the education process and being an elite client here, and going to the classes and going through the resources and working with a coach.
Good point.
And kind of in that same vein again, Donnie, Lieutenant Dan asked, and let me just say to the audience out there, if continue putting your questions in the chat. If we don't get to them this hour, we absolutely will get back to you in the chat and answer your questions. So please continue putting your questions in there. But Lieutenant Dan is asking, hey, where can I get a Nexus letter? Can I just go to any doctor I want to, or does it have to be a VA doctor? So any doctor can write a Nexus letter, but just repeating what Donnie was saying, you may not necessarily want to use your private doctor or a VA doctor because they may not be using the wording that the VA really needs to help you get service connected. So to answer your question specifically, where can you get it? So as I said earlier, VA Claims Center partners with Telemedica, and there is a plethora of medical providers that can write Nexus letters. Okay, and that's going to be based on the medical records that you deliver to them. Okay, so get signed up with VACI, get a coach. We can help you get over to Telemedica and get any Nexus letters that you and your coach may feel is right for your strategy. And I'll just emphasize that your doctor, your private doctor, and even the VA doctors, they're there to treat you. Okay, they get paid to treat you, to medicate you, to help you with your health. They don't really get paid to write Nexus letters for you. So think of that as well. All right. So
Hey,
hope
good
that
point.
helps.
Yeah, really good point. Just to let you guys know, I actually came here as a client and went through the whole process as a client. I didn't even second guess when my coach said, you need to go ahead and go to Telemedica, talk to the psychiatrist there so you can actually get a letter that helps. I know how these letters help from just my 20 years of practice. I know how these letters help. And yes, they are experts at these letters and how they bring across all the different things about not only your condition, but all the symptoms that are attached to it. I did the same thing. I went over to Telemedica, talked to somebody, got my letter, got my IMO, and came back, and it was very successful. With that, I knew that I had to become back to the old airborne paratrooper attitude. I couldn't go back as a psychologist. And when I did that, that's when everything opened up for me. So even doctors will come to us and actually go, I need somebody that actually knows what they're doing with this because it's not an easy task. There's a lot of things that go into that the VA is looking for, and they know that. So they make sure that not only that it's there, but different aspects of it that make the argument much stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just going to piggyback off a couple answers. A lot of great questions here in the chat. Like Stacy said a minute ago, keep those questions dropped in the chat. We will go back after this hour is complete and go back and answer all those questions that are dropped there in the comment boxes. But a couple answers that we've been giving, I just kind of want to package a couple things together. We've talked about strategy, we've talked about education, and we've talked about medical evidence. Okay, those three pillars to success will help you throughout this claims process. Okay, so like the others have mentioned, jump on our website, book a discovery call. It's free. You get to talk to a real live human being about the opportunity here at VA Claims Insider. If we're a good fit for you, you'll jump on board with a coach and you'll have that very first strategy call with your coach. You will get a customized strategy, okay, for your exact situation. Along the way, you're going to be armed with education. Okay, we've talked about our live classes that we hold within our network or within our process. Okay, so come to those live classes after you've had your strategy call with your coach. And then the third point is the medical evidence piece. Okay, we've talked about diagnoses, we've talked about DBQs, we've talked about Nexus letters. Medical evidence is what wins claims with the VA. Okay, medical evidence is what wins claims with the VA. So when you take all three of those components and you file a fully developed claim, that is going to lead you to the highest probability of success throughout this entire process. So again, if you're not an elite member yet and you'd like to learn more, book that discovery call. We can drop it again in the chat. Book that discovery call. Talk to one of our ambassadors. Again, if we're a good fit for you, please jump on board with our program, and we'd love to coach you throughout this entire process. Lots of good questions. Lots of good questions.
We got Greg and Darlene Boyd. I've been in a duty to assist status since May. How long does it take to correct this error? Well, one, this is a good thing. That means your argument or the review
Hey, Donnie.
for your HLR.
Donnie, you're really hard to understand right now.
Again?
Yep. Hey, Caleb, you want to take this one?
I'm sorry. Which question was it?
I've been in a duty to assist status since May. How long does it take to correct this error?
Oh, that's a great question. That's a great question. Yeah, go ahead, Donnie. We can hear you now.
Yeah. So it's a good sign for one, because this means that they did find an error in fact or law, right? There's a duty to assist that the VA is required to do, and they determined that there was an error made. So they're going to go back and fix that, and then look at all the evidence and re-adjudicate your claim. But your answer really just, it depends, because what was the duty to assist error, right? You have to have that answer first, and then what do they have to do to correct it? So do they need to send you to another C&P exam? Do they need to go and get additional evidence? Maybe a service record or something that a piece was missing, and they have to locate it. You'll get it. So there's really no way to know. It could take from anywhere from a week to a year. Or more, as long as it takes to fix the error. And then after they get the evidentiary piece that they missed, they're going to have to re-adjudicate your claims. You're going to have to wait on someone to go back and look through your file again and make a new decision.
Cool. And before we go into somebody, I just wanted to address Mr. Patrick Robinson. Mr. Patrick, I am going to call you immediately after we get off of this live. It'll be from an 804 area code, but I'm going to call you immediately after this so we can talk. And I want to make sure you understand that we're to answer any and everything. So if you have any specific questions that you want to put up on the screen or anything that we can discuss over the phone, I will call you immediately after we get off of this call, if that's okay. Cool. Got about 7 more minutes left. Y'all want to answer some more questions or end on a very happy and high note?
I think we got time for one more.
Okay.
And let me see. I had a good one over here. One of them was for mental health. I have Randy Gibson. I have 10% for PTSD. Can I get secondary for sleep apnea and migraines? Was a slap upside my head. So, Randy, let's talk about the mental health piece. First and foremost, with any condition, you need to see how you should be rated. Go to the 38 CFR. Military Disability Made Easy is a great resource also. It is a paid resource. You can utilize if you're an elite member. You can talk to your coach about getting a year membership for free. And it really just breaks down the 38 CFR into simpler language. But see how you should be rated before you start looking at secondary conditions for that PTSD. Because that to me, first glance, outsider looking in, I know nothing about you, that looks low. For the national average, it's could potentially be low. Not a medical professional, not a psychologist or psychiatrist. Just saying, check how you should be rated first and foremost. Same thing for your headaches. I know that when I went into my CNP exams for headaches and my PTSD, I was unprepared. I didn't know what I needed to talk about. I talked about the things that made me the most angry, the things that made me the most uncomfortable. Unfortunately for me, those were my symptoms that the VA considered to be 10 or 30% symptoms, not the symptoms that I didn't think were as important because I didn't know. So when you understand how the VA rates these conditions, you can talk more about all of the symptoms that they need to hear about, not just the ones that bother you the most. Those are important, but you need to open it up. Same thing for the headaches. You need to understand how they're rated and where you should fall legally, morally, and ethically in that rating schedule before you start making, before you submit a claim. Now, sleep apnea, there is some literature that supports sleep apnea being connected to your service secondarily to conditions like PTSD. Really, you need to see what your medical evidence shows. See if it is possible to get a Nexus for those things. If you've got the diagnosis and you're already service-connected condition, though your two pieces of the Kaluza triangle are met. Now you need that Nexus. So hope that answered your question. Now we've got just a few more minutes. T, how are you going to close us out?
I almost cut my sweater on because it actually is lights on here. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how to work it. Yeah. Oh. It's actually a switch. Can y'all see me lighting up?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. One, I absolutely love eggnog. I make eggnog milkshakes with eggnog and eggnog ice cream. Shout out to Miss Murray, one of my mom's old co-workers. Two, my favorite Christmas movie is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Absolutely love it with Chevy Chase. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I will watch it in May, right? If it one of those movies that you get stuck if it's on I thought we were leaving out the house, we're actually not. I'm going to sit here and watch one of my favorite movies. That and Armageddon. And then I'm really excited and thankful this year to be able to prepare a holiday meal for my friends and family. It's going to be a really good time. But I promise you at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Christmas Day, I won't be doing anything except for sitting in front of a television, watching my Baltimore Ravens beat down the 49ers of San Francisco. So, those are my plans. That is what I have going on. If you're a veteran, you need me, call me, send me a message. I probably won't answer in that 3-hour window. Give me some grace on Christmas Day. Outside of that, I'm here to serve. That's where I am.
Also, with that, being a Cowboys fan, I'll be rooting for your Ravens to demolish them. So,
thank you. I appreciate that, Dr. John. Yeah, I appreciate that.
I would too. I mean, I would. If I was a Cowboys fan, I'd root for a team that has a chance of winning.
As a Chiefs fan, I kind of hope they lose because we need you to improve our standings. So, sorry, T.
I understand and respect that as well. It's all appreciated.
I will not listen to any Taylor Swift songs during that day. Nothing.
I'm going to shake it off, JT. Shake it off.
All right. Raging Bullwinkle. Good people at BACI got me from 10 to 90. Never could have done it on my own. Congratulations, Raging Bullwinkle. I can say, a lot of us here, including myself, were clients as well, and is the reason why we're here on the other side of the line, helping our fellow brothers and sisters get what they deserve. So, thank you for sharing.
Amen.
Beverly, now.
Really.
I love you.
If you are not a part of VA Claims Insider and you are stuck and frustrated, this is the right place for you. Come on home. www.vaclaimsinsider.com. What else do we have? Get a copy of Brian's book, You Deserve It, the second edition. I always keep a copy very close to me, right? It stays right here on my desk. I use it all the time. I got my son some amazing scholarships. Get you a copy. There's digital versions. You can get it off of Amazon. I keep 2 just in case. You never know, right? I got stacks of them everywhere. I absolutely love this book, The Definitive Guide. Get you a copy of it.
Awesome.
Well, with that being said, we're at the top of the hour. We love you all. We appreciate you all. Happy holidays to each and every one of you. We'll see y'all soon. We'll see y'all in the New Year's. please don't hesitate to reach out. We are here to serve you each and every day that ends in Y. Love you guys. Have a great holiday on purpose. Bye, everybody.
Bye, love you guys.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
By the way, Mr. Nelson, I